Now, Love Island might be postponed this year, but for those missing their fix of dating drama, Laura Whitmore has released her brand new podcast, Dating Hall of Fame.
Eliza Doolittle, now just Eliza, she once said after a blind date, I went on a blind date and after that, I never, ever did it again. The guy repeated everything he said twice. So he'd say, how are you? How are you? And I'd say, I was fine. And he'd say, good, good. But I'll then say, I'll have the mac and cheese, please. And then he'd say, yeah, the mac and cheese, please.
Imagine being on the table next to them, like hearing that date. That would have been amazing, man.
And Laura Jones, it's so good to see you. How you doing, Laura?
I'm doing great. How are you, Christine?
Very good, Laura. I love the idea of this because it's so relatable. Everyone has a story.
I think there's more bad dates than good dates. And we talk a lot about the perfect date. What's your perfect date? But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the bad times because they are the best stories.
Yeah, exactly. It's the conversation the day after, isn't it? That's the bit that gets everyone going. And you've got lots of people chatting with you on the podcast. I know two of your really good friends, Ricky Haywood-Williams and Melvin Odom, DJs, of course, Radio 1. But you go way back with them. So when you're doing this kind of podcast with friends, it just makes it a fun day, I guess.
Yeah, the reason for the first podcast, I really wanted to do it with Ricky and Melvin because 12 years ago, I won a competition to be on MTV and they were the two guys I worked with. So I was this naive girl from Ireland coming to the big city of London. And these were the guys who showed me the ropes and even what the dating culture was. And we had some great stories on each other. And they were kind of like my big brothers. So they were perfect for the first episode. And yeah, I remember before we start recording it, Melvin said, so like, how open are we going to be? And I went, as open, as honest as possible. And that's what they were.
Yeah, and that's what you need. That's what makes it funny as well. And as I say, relatable. But I suppose the landscape when it comes to dating has changed so much over the years now. People are dating in a different way.
Yeah, well, I didn't even realise, Christine, Ricky, who I've known for years, I didn't realise he's actually met a girl during lockdown, which he divulges on the podcast. And they're now properly together and an item. And he said if it wasn't for lockdown, that may not have happened that way or unraveled that way because he kind of, I don't know, I think something happened during lockdown for all the negativity. It's really given us a chance to reset and maybe take things a little bit slower and that enabled these relationships that wouldn't normally happen.
Yeah, very, very true. It's the time to think about it. And as you say, you talk about that reset button and you really believe that actually, Laura, like during lockdown, it's been an awful time for lots of people, but you've tried to take the positives from it from a personal perspective.
Well, you kind of have to because there's only so much there's a lot of things that we can't control. We can control what we do. So I'm always like, what can I do in this situation just to make it a little bit better? And, you know, we mentioned like Love Island at the beginning of the year, which is an incredible show to work on. But I can't believe that was this year. It feels like it was a lifetime ago. But it was, you know, it's full on. You're back and forth to Cape Town. It's a big show with a lot of interest and a lot of people wanting to ask you questions. So it kind of came at a good time for me just to have the space to be at home and to reset, as you say.
Yeah, and to write a book, Laura.
Sure, what else would you be doing these days?
Absolutely, I certainly didn't write one, but it's called No One Can Change Your Life Except for You. And it's you sharing very sort of personal experiences. It's overcoming heartbreak, insecurities, sort of image worries. How easy was it to put that on paper?
To be honest with you, Christine, it was a long time coming. It was something I started writing probably a few years ago, and I'd written a few articles for different publications and always kind of was wary about how much of myself I give away because it's okay to be a bit protective of yourself. And there's nothing like a pandemic and being forced to be in your house to kind of push you to, you know, you look at all these projects that you've started and going, why did I not finish that? Or what more can I do? And maybe just with a lot of stuff that happened as well, it just kind of was like, do you know what, I'm gonna write down and see what happens with this. And I just happened to finish a book. It comes from the first album I ever owned when I was 5. And I don't remember this, but my mom says I came home and said, I want a Wilson Phillips album. Sounds like I'm a demanding child, but she got it for me. And the song was Hold On, which I know a lot of people will know from Bridesmaids.
I was just going to say, I could just see that scene from Bridesmaids the second we talk about it.
Everyone knows it from that. And I do a thing on my radio show on BBC 5 Live where I ask everyone the lyric they live for. And, you know, I've had everyone from Bob Geldof say "What Bambalumba, a What Bamboo" to Rufus Wainwright saying "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." And I thought, what's the lyric that I live for? And it was that one: "No one can change your life except for you."
And it just means so. And just about being kind to yourself, Laura. Just go easy on yourself sometimes.
Oh, we're our worst critic. And as much as I give out about like trolling and how people talk to each other, which is terrible sometimes you see online, no one really says things as bad as you say to yourself in your head sometimes.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Well, we talk about lockdown, writing books and being busy, and of course Iain has been alongside you there. His tour got cancelled like so many others, of course, Laura.
No, that picture makes me laugh so much because that was GQ Awards, and he came late, and then he had the dicky bow on, and he had it on for about 10 minutes. He went, you know what, I can't cope with this. No one's going to be interested in taking my picture. And he just opened the dicky bow, and then someone just took his picture. It looks like that he shouldn't be there.
Well, at least you had someone to make you laugh for all of these months.
True. Yeah, and he's a good cook too, so somebody can make you laugh.
Well, he's a very good dancer. I mean, we're watching you both now. I mean, I have to say, you're both very good together.
Look at the concentration on his face, Christine. Look at the concentration. He looks petrified. It's like, I think, stand there and dance. You know what? We just had a little bit of fun during lockdown. I know a lot of people, I mean, we're way too old to be on TikTok, but I just think anything you can do to make yourself laugh and make other people laugh, sure, why not?
Absolutely. And it was your 3-year anniversary together in lockdown as well.
Yeah, it was. And normally he would be out doing Love Island during that time, and I would be in London. And we always had this one day where we'd always try to fly to each other. And this was the first time we were like, oh, we can have the whole day. What are we going to do? We're like, well, not much, because we can't do much. But yeah, it was nice to kind of have that time together.
Of course. Well, Laura, look, the new podcast, Dating Hall of Fame, it's out now. Just before you go, Love Island, it is coming back, isn't it?
It will come back bigger and better than ever. I've been told there's an overwhelming amount of applications for next year. And I just think that show is such a great and such a big show, but it has to be done the right way. You can't do that show when people aren't going to be safe. And obviously it's a different country. So when it comes back, it'll come back the right way.
Brilliant. Laura, thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Take care, lovely. Thank you.
Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.